everybody, welcome to Shell Lectures. So today we will be dealing with NCERT Class 11 Chemistry, Lesson 1, Part 3. Okay, we will be dealing with physical and chemical properties in this video. Physical and chemical properties. So if we see the difference between physical properties and chemical properties. Physical properties are nothing but which can be observable, that is we can observe it. Okay, for example we can take color and we can take melting point, boiling point, density, all these come under physical properties. These are all the examples for physical properties, whereas for chemical properties we have reactivity with air or water or acids or alkali, then combustibility, ability to get burnt, combustibility. So these kind of things come under chemical properties. So physical properties, how do we measure color, melting point, boiling point and all? We need not make the thing undergo specific chemical change. We need not do some kind of a chemical reaction, or we need not perform a chemical reaction to know these things, to measure these things. Whereas for this can be measured only if a chemical change takes place, only if you do some chemical change. For example, if you have to test its combustibility, the ability to get burned, then you have to burn it. That is a chemical reaction has to take place. Only then we can know measure these two chemical properties. Okay, so this is the difference between chemical and physical properties, and these can be measured without altering the chemical things, and this can be measured only if the chemical properties are altered. Okay, so this is the major difference between chemical and physical properties. And how do we measure the physical properties? Quantitative measurement. Quantity, so it's nothing but which refers to the number. Am I right? It refers to a number. So if I take length or if I take area, these all are physical properties. Okay, or if I take volume. Whenever I calculate values like this, I always write a number. For example, I write a number and then the unit in which I am measuring the particular thing. So if I take for length 6 meters, if I take it in area, then 10 meters square. Okay, so this is the number which I write and it's preceded by a unit. Okay, this is what is known as quantitative measurement. Quantitative measurement, that is measurement by means of quantity. So this is what, for length we write the number and then we write the SI unit. So for length, area and all that, the measurement is indicated by the number followed by the unit in which it's measured. Okay, so this is what is about quantitative measurement. And SI and the unit which we use here is based on SI system, and we already if you don't know that there are 7 base units in SI system, fundamental units. They are the fundamental units, which means all the other units are derived only from these fundamental units. And the 7 fundamental quantities and their units are. So I told you that the quantitative measurement is a number followed by the unit, which is always an SI unit, and the SI unit consists of 7 base units. The SI unit consists of 7 base units or the fundamental units, and the other units can only be derived from these base units. So the 7 physical quantities and their units we learn now. The 7 physical quantities are length, mass, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature, luminous intensity, and amount of substance. So these are the 7 physical quantities, 7 fundamental quantities for which the SI units are meter, for mass it's kilogram, for time it's second, for electric current it's ampere, for temperature it's Kelvin, and these two are written in caps, and this is candela, small candela, and this is moles. So these are the 7 base fundamental units from which all the other units are derived. Okay, from which all the other units are derived. For example, if I take density, what's the formula for density? Mass per volume. Am I right? So for mass, even for volume itself we can take volume. What's volume? Length into length into length, which means meter into meter into meter. and the unit for volume is meter cube, and this unit I have derived only because of this. So these units are known as fundamental units from which we derive the derived units. Okay, so this is what is the base units and the derived units, and these are only used to represent the quantitative measurements. And we have to know certain prefixes. Like for 10 power minus 15 we say femto. 10 power minus 12 we say pico. 10 power minus 10 we say Armstrong. 10 power minus 9 we say nano. 10 power minus 6 we say micro. 10 power minus 3 we say milli. 10 power minus 2 we say centi. 10 we say it as deca. 10 square we say it as hecto. 10 cube we say it as kilo. 10 power 6 we say it as mega. 10 power 9 we call it as giga. 10 power 12 we call it as mega. Mega, giga. Tera. So 10 power 12 we call it as tera. So these are the prefixes which are used. For example, if they give you 10 power minus 15 meter, then you can instead write it as femtometer. And if they give you 10 power minus 3 meter, instead you can write it as millimeter. Okay, so these are the names for the prefixes which we have to know. Okay, so these are the prefixes and the SI units which are indispensable for quantitative measurement. Now let us know the basic physical quantities. About the basic physical quantities. First of all, we must know about two physical quantities which are often confused with each other: mass and weight. So what is exactly the difference between mass and weight, or are they both similar? They are not similar. Mass is actually the amount of substance which is present in a body. Amount of substance. So whenever I say my weight is 55 kilograms, it's not right. My mass is 55 kilograms because the amount of substance which is contained in a body is known as mass, whereas weight is the gravitational force which is exerted on the body. For example, if you are having a box, its mass is 50 kg. The amount of substance which is contained in the body, and the gravitational force, for example, if it's kept on level, then the gravitational force which acts on the body is the weight. Okay, so this is the mass of substance and this is the gravitational force which is acting on the substance which is responsible for its proper placement. And mass, it varies. Mass does not vary. Yeah, mass is constant. Mass does not vary. Wherever you go, it does not vary. But here it varies because of the difference in the gravitational constant. Okay, because of the difference and variation in the gravity, the weight value differs. That's what we say, a person weighs different on earth and the same person weighs different on moon. So this goes on varying, and the SI unit for mass is kilogram and the SI unit for weight is not kilogram, it's Newton because it's a gravitational force. So for mass it's kilogram, for weight it's Newton. Okay, so the SI unit of weight is Newton and the SI unit of mass is kilograms. So this is the major difference between mass and weight. Now we have to know about volume. So volume is nothing but the amount of space occupied by a particular object. For example, if I am drawing a box here, so its length, its breadth and its height will account for its volume. The total amount of space which is occupied. So this is meter, this is meter, this is meter. So the full unit is meter cube. Okay, so the SI unit of volume is meter cube. The SI unit of volume is meter cube. Also, this is measured in liters. When we speak about the volume of liquids, it's measured in liters, which are measured in pipettes, burettes, and all that. Pipettes, burettes, volumetric flask. This is where you can prepare liquids of specific volume. Okay, volumetric flask, you can prepare liquids of specific volume using volumetric flask. Then you have pipettes, burettes, and all that. So meter cube and liter are the SI units of volume. Also we have centimeter cube, okay, decimeter cube, decameter cube. So all these are units for volume, but SI unit is meter cube. Okay, SI unit is meter cube, but liter is not SI, I am sorry. Liter is not SI, yeah, meter cube is the only SI unit for volume. But liter is also used to measure volume. Okay, and then we have another one thing which is linked to both mass and volume, that is density. What's the formula? Density is equal to mass per volume. So the formula for density is mass per volume, mass divided by volume. So for mass, just now we learned the unit as kg. For volume, the unit is meter cube. So when this meter cube comes to the top, it becomes -3. Okay, so we know that when like this such a thing is there, 1 by second square, then when it comes to the top, it becomes minus. So kg per meter cube is kg meter per -3, and this is the unit for density. This is the unit for density. So what is density? We can simply say that if some substance's density has increased, it means that the particles are closely packed. The particles are being closely packed. So that's what is the meaning of density. Now we have to know about another physical quantity. The another physical quantity which we have to know about is temperature. So temperature, as we know, is measured in 3 scales. Degree Celsius it can be measured, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. So the 3 scales on which the temperature is measured are degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. Okay, so these are the 3 scales. Degree Celsius is from 0 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. And this is the boiling point and this is the freezing point. That is the temperature in which water boils and the temperature in which water freezes to form ice. And for degree Fahrenheit, we have 32 degree Fahrenheit to 212 degree Fahrenheit. For Kelvin, we have, Kelvin is the SI unit. Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. So degree Celsius this is the boiling point for degree Fahrenheit, and this is the boiling point for, freezing point for degree Fahrenheit. And here the room temperature. For degree Celsius, the room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. The room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, and here the room temperature is 77 degree Fahrenheit. Room temperature, and the normal body temperature we know that in degree Celsius it is 37 degrees Celsius, and in degree Fahrenheit it is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. So this is the body temperature and the room temperature and the boiling point and freezing point of everything. So if you want to calculate from Celsius to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to Celsius, we have a basic formula which is degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9 by 5 into degree Celsius plus 32 degrees. So degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9 by 5 degree Celsius plus 32. This is the formula which links Fahrenheit and Celsius. And if you want to calculate Kelvin, it will be 373 plus degree Celsius. Okay, Celsius scale. 373 plus Celsius scale will give you Kelvin. And 273 plus degree Celsius will give you Kelvin, and F is equal to n by 5 degree Celsius plus 32. Okay, so these are the things which are related to temperature. So we have spoken about the physical and chemical properties in this video. Soon I will be meeting you with a lot of other videos on this chapter. Stay tuned to all of my videos. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so far. Like and share this video to whomever you know. Thank you.